My breath catches, a sharp, painful thing. It's not the post itself, a saccharine, sympathy-baiting paragraph about my supposed heartbreak, but the name underneath it. Zoe, my best friend, or the girl I thought was my best friend. The metallic taste of shock floods my mouth, bitter and cold. My phone, clutched in a trembling hand, won't stop buzzing. Notifications pop up, one after another, a relentless stream of pity and questions from people I haven't spoken to in months, all reacting to news I hadn't even fully processed myself. Marcus broke up with you? OMG, are you okay? He did. It's like prom night all over again. The memory, sharp and unwelcome, slices through the fog of my confusion. Zoe, beaming in the dress I'd shown her a picture of weeks before, the one I'd been saving up for, crowned prom queen while I stood in the corner in a hastily bought, ill-fitting replacement, my smile plastered on so tight it ached. She'd accidentally spilled punch on my original dress just hours before, her eyes wide with fake innocence. Even then, a small, suspicious part of me had wondered. Now that suspicion blooms into a sickening certainty. This is what she does. She steals my moments, my joy, my spotlight. Maya, honey, are you there? My mom's voice, tinny and anxious through the phone speaker. I'd called her in a daze, the buzzing of my phone a physical irritant against my skin. Yeah, Mom, I'm here. My voice sounds distant, like it's coming from someone else. The cold glass of the screen feels like ice against my fingers. I just saw Zoe's post, and then all the comments. Did Marcus really? I don't know, Mom. How can I not know? How can the entire world know about the end of my relationship before I do? The screen flashes with another message, this one from Marcus's sister. So sorry to hear, Maya. We all loved you. Loved, past tense. The air in my tiny apartment feels thick, suffocating. I stumble towards the window, yanking it open, desperate for a breath that doesn't taste like betrayal. The city sounds, usually a comforting hum, are a cacophony of jarring noises. Each car horn, each distant siren, seems to echo the chaos in my head. Zoe wouldn't. The thought is a weak protest, a dying ember of the trust I'd placed in her for over a decade. But then another thought, colder and clearer, cuts through. She did. I scroll back to Zoe's post, my eyes scanning the carefully crafted words, the strategic use of heartbroken emojis, the subtle digs at Marcus that somehow also paint her as the ever-supportive friend. My heart aches for my dearest Maya as she navigates this incredibly painful time. Marcus, we all thought you were different. Sending all my love and strength to my brave girl. Brave girl? I haven't had a chance to be brave. I've been blindsided, humiliated, publicly. The comments are a sea of well-meaning but ultimately clueless condolences. Zoe, you're such a good friend. Maya, you deserve so much better. Hang in there, sweetie. Each one is a fresh stab. They're talking about me, about my life, based on a narrative spun by someone else. Someone who is supposed to be on my side. My thumb hovers over the message icon. I could call Marcus, demand an explanation. But what's the point? The explanation is already plastered all over social media, curated by Zoe. The cold dread intensifies, coiling in my stomach. Why would Zoe do this? Why announce it? Unless she wanted to be the one to tell me, to control it, a new wave of notifications. This time, it's not just comments, it's tags. Friends are sharing Zoe's post, adding their own messages of support for me, of condemnation for Marcus. My breakup is trending, at least within our little social circle. I feel a flush of heat creep up my neck, the burn of embarrassment. My gaze falls on a small, almost insignificant detail in Zoe's post, a liked by Marcus_Miller tag. He liked it? He liked the post announcing our breakup? A post that ostensibly paints him as the bad guy? It doesn't make sense, unless... My fingers fly across the screen, opening my messaging app. I scroll to my chat with Marcus. Nothing. No breakup message. No, we need to talk. Just our usual stream of banter from yesterday, a stupid meme he sent me about cats. Then I open Zoe's profile, her DMs. My heart hammers against my ribs. It's a long shot, a paranoid, desperate stab in the dark, but I have to know. I type in Marcus's username. My breath hitches. There it is. A long thread of messages, weeks of them. My eyes scan the most recent ones, snippets of conversation, flirty emojis, inside jokes that aren't our inside jokes, plans. Can't wait for tomorrow night, from Zoe. You have no idea, from Marcus. Tomorrow night? That's Zoe's birthday party, the party I'm supposed to be attending, the party where apparently I'm the guest of honor at my own pity party. The phone slips from my trembling fingers, clattering onto the hardwood floor. The buzzing finally stops, but the silence that replaces it is deafening, filled only with the roar of my own dawning, horrifying realization. They've been doing this for weeks, planning this. And Zoe posted it not just to tell me, but to stake her claim, to make sure I knew and everyone else knew that she had him. Again. Just like prom, but 1,000 times worse. This isn't just a stolen dress or a fleeting moment of glory. This is my life, my relationship, and she's dancing on its grave before I even knew it was dead. The metallic taste in my mouth is stronger now, the taste of pure, unadulterated betrayal. And a new feeling, cold and hard, begins to crystallize in the pit of my stomach. Rage. The night is a blur of harsh light and shadows, the glow of my phone the only constant in the suffocating darkness of my bedroom. I scroll and scroll and scroll, screenshots, timestamps, likes and comments that, in retrospect, are blatant red flags. A picture Zoe posted 2 weeks ago, a selfie at that little Italian place Marcus and I loved, captioned, "Sometimes the best company is unexpected." Marcus had liked it, commented with a simple truth. At the time, I'd thought nothing of it. Zoe often went there. Now it's a piece of a much larger, uglier puzzle. I don't cry. The shock has numbed me, replaced by a strange, icy calm. My mind is working with a chilling clarity I didn't know I possessed. This isn't just a spur-of-the-moment betrayal. This is calculated. A methodical dismantling of my relationship, orchestrated by the two people I trusted most. The sound of the screenshot function, a sharp little click, becomes a rhythmic counterpoint to my ragged breathing. Each click is another piece of evidence, another nail in the coffin of my friendship with Zoe, my love for Marcus, my quiet power move. I don't react publicly. I don't call Zoe, screaming the accusations that are clawing at my throat. I don't text Marcus the string of expletives he so richly deserves. Instead, I save everything, every incriminating post, every suspicious comment, every too friendly exchange. I create a folder on my phone, a digital monument to their deceit. It's a grim, satisfying task. I'm not just collecting evidence, I'm arming myself. The ticking clock, Zoe's birthday party, tomorrow night. The irony is a bitter pill. She'll be there, surrounded by our friends, basking in the sympathy she's so expertly manufactured. She'll play the role of the concerned best friend, her arm around my shoulder, whispering and way, while secretly gloating. Marcus will probably be there too, playing the contrite ex. Or maybe, just maybe, they'll already be subtly or not so subtly together. The thought sends a fresh wave of nausea through me. I remember when Zoe first met Marcus. I'd been so excited to introduce them. "He's great, Zoe. I think you'll really like him." Her smile had been a little too bright, her eyes lingering on him a little too long. "He's charming," she'd said. Another red flag ignored in the rosy glow of new love and misplaced trust. How many others had I missed? My fingers ache from clutching the phone. My eyes burn from staring at the screen. The harsh white light in the otherwise pitch-black room is disorienting. I feel like I'm in a bubble, detached from the world. The only reality, the ugly truth unfolding on this small, glowing rectangle. I find a photo of Zoe and me from her last birthday. Arms slung around each other, beaming. The caption I'd written, full of gushing praise for my sister from another mister, now makes me feel physically ill. I need to sleep, but my mind is a whirlwind. Plans, half-formed and chaotic, begin to surface. Should I confront them at the party, make a scene? Or should I just disappear, cut them both out of my life without a word? The thought of seeing their faces, of having to pretend, is unbearable. But the thought of letting them get away with this, of letting Zoe win so easily, is even worse. A memory surfaces, unbidden. Years ago, when we were teenagers, I'd had a massive crush on this boy, Liam. I'd confided in Zoe, told her all my ridiculous romantic daydreams. A week later, Liam asked Zoe out. She'd feigned surprise, then sympathy when I'd burst into tears. I had no idea, Maya. I'm so sorry. But her eyes had that same triumphant glint I'd seen on prom night. The same glint I'm sure I'll see tomorrow. It's a pattern, a sick, twisted pattern I've been too blind, too trusting to see. The first hint of dawn is painting the sky in bruised shades of purple and gray when I finally find it. Tucked away in a folder of old photos on Zoe's public cloud storage, a link she'd shared years ago and forgotten to disable, is something that makes the air leave my lungs in a silent whoosh. It's not about Marcus. It's not about me. It's a folder titled KTH_love. My heart plummets. KTH? Kim Taehyung? The K-pop idol? I click it open, my blood turning to ice water. This changes everything. This isn't just about stealing a boyfriend. This is something far stranger, far more unhinged. The contents of the KTH_love folder are extensive. Fan letters, hundreds of them written with an almost desperate fervor. Scanned concert tickets, not just from his group's tours, but for obscure fan meetings, events I didn't even know existed. And then, the truly unsettling part, a meticulously crafted timeline. June 2019. Our eyes met across the stadium. December 2020. He wore the blue sweater I sent him. Interspersed with these are heavily photoshopped images. Zoe's face seamlessly blended into pictures with Taehyung, walking hand in hand, sharing a private laugh. It's a fantasy world, a shrine to an obsession so profound it's chilling. The smell of stale coffee from the mug on my nightstand suddenly seems overwhelmingly strong, mixing with the phantom scent of something cloyingly sweet, like the vanilla candles Zoe always burns in her room. The texture of the cool, smooth phone in my hand feels alien as I stare at the screen, at this glimpse into a part of Zoe I never knew existed. My mind races, trying to connect the dots. Zoe's casual mentions of being a fan, her sudden, intense interest in learning Korean last year, which she'd brushed off as a hobby, her unexplained trips, vaguely attributed to visiting relatives. It all clicks into place with a horrifying clarity. And then, my own secret slams into me with the force of a physical blow. Kim Taehyung, the KTH of Zoe's obsessive shrine. The man whose concert tickets she hoards, whose pictures she doctors. He's the man I've been dating for the past 6 months. The world tilts. My tiny, messy bedroom, the harsh glow of the phone, the distant sounds of the city waking up. It all recedes, replaced by a roaring in my ears. I met him at a charity gala, anonymously. He was there as a quiet supporter, no entourage, no fanfare. We'd talked for hours about art, about music. Not his, initially. About the ridiculousness of fame. He was real, kind, funny. Nothing like the manufactured idol of Zoe's fantasies. Our relationship has been quiet, private, a sanctuary from the chaos of his world and, apparently, the hidden toxicity of mine. My quiet power move, I don't delete the folder. I don't even close it. I start documenting it, just as I documented her messages with Marcus. Screenshots of the fake timeline, the photoshopped images, the desperate fan letters. My collection of evidence is growing, but the nature of it has shifted. This isn't just about a stolen boyfriend anymore. This is about a level of deception, of delusion, that's staggering. And a new plan begins to form, sharper and more audacious than anything I'd considered before. Zoe wants a spotlight. She wants drama. Oh, I'll give it to her, but it won't be the drama she's expecting. I remember a conversation with Taehyung a few weeks ago. He'd been talking about the pressures of his life, the constant scrutiny. Sometimes I wish I could just be normal, have a normal relationship, a normal life. I'd squeezed his hand, understanding more than he knew. Our relationship, conducted mostly through late-night video calls and carefully planned secret meetings, was anything but normal, but it was ours, and it was real. I start looking through my own photos, the real ones. A selfie of Taehyung and me, his face mostly hidden by a baseball cap, but his eyes, those warm, familiar eyes, smiling into mine. A picture of a ridiculous, oversized teddy bear he'd won for me at a deserted amusement park after hours. The contrast between these genuine moments and Zoe's fabricated shrine is stark. She's built a relationship with a ghost, an idea. I have the man. The ticking clock of Zoe's party is no longer a threat. It's an opportunity, a stage. And I'm no longer the heartbroken victim. I'm the director of a play she doesn't even know she's starring in. My phone buzzes, and for a second, my heart leaps into my throat, expecting another notification about my breakup. But it's a video call from Taehyung. My breath catches. He never calls this early. His face fills the screen, tired but smiling, that familiar, heart-stopping smile. "Hey," he says, his voice a little rough with sleep. "Did I wake you?" "No, I was up." Understatement of the century. He frowns, his eyes searching mine. "You okay? You look stressed." I try to smile, but it feels brittle. Just a long night. "Well," he says, his smile widening, a playful glint in his eyes. "I have something that might make it better. Or, add to the stress in a good way." He shifts the camera, and then I see it. A small velvet box in his hand. My world stops. Again. But this time, it's not from shock or betrayal. It's from something else entirely. Something that feels dangerously like hope. He opens the box. My hand flies to my mouth. The diamond isn't huge, but it's perfect, catching the light from his room, sending dazzling fractals across my own dim screen. The weight of the ring box, even seen through a video call, feels tangible, a promise. My own heartbeat thunders in my ears, a wild drum against the sudden, profound silence. "Maya," he begins, his voice soft, sincere. A world away from the pop star persona, the idol of Zoe's desperate fantasies. This is just Taehyung. My Taehyung. We've been through a lot in these past 6 months, haven't we? Keeping things quiet, navigating my complicated life. But through it all, you've been my anchor, my reality. You see me, the real me. And I can't imagine my life without you anymore. He takes a breath, his eyes locked on mine through the screen. "Maya Lee, will you marry me?" Tears, hot and unexpected, prickle at my eyes. Not tears of sorrow or anger, but of an overwhelming, complicated joy. This isn't about Zoe. This isn't about Marcus. This is about me, about Taehyung, about a love that has blossomed in the most unlikely of circumstances. A love that feels real and strong and true. This is the ultimate reclaiming of my narrative, my happiness. "Yes," I whisper, the word choked with emotion. "Yes, Taehyung, of course, yes." His smile is blinding. "Really? Really?" I'm laughing now, the tears finally spilling over, tracing paths down my cheeks. He slips the ring onto his own pinky finger, holding it up to the camera. "Consider this a placeholder until I can put it on your actual finger," he says, his voice full of a happiness that mirrors my own. My quiet power move. A surge of clarity cuts through the emotional haze. "Taehyung," I say, my voice suddenly firm. Can we keep this a secret? Just for a little while, like 24 hours? He looks surprised, but nods. "Of course. Any reason?" "A very, very good one," I say, a slow smile spreading across my face. "It's complicated, but trust me." "I always trust you," he says, and the simple sincerity of it makes my heart ache in the best possible way. The ticking clock. Zoe's party. It's no longer just an opportunity for revenge. It's the stage for my rebirth. 6 hours. 6 hours until the world, or at least Zoe's world, changes forever. We talk for a few more minutes, giddy and excited, making vague plans to celebrate properly as soon as he can arrange another discreet trip. As we're about to hang up, a floorboard creaks outside my bedroom door. My apartment is old, the walls thin. My blood runs cold. My neighbor, Mrs. Henderson, she's notoriously nosy. Or worse, could someone else have been listening? My building's security is lax. The thought sends a shiver down my spine. Had my joyful, tearful yes been overheard? The weight of the secret, now intertwined with the joy of the engagement, suddenly feels immense. The next few hours are a strange combination of frantic energy and laser like focus. Sleep is out of the question. My mind is buzzing, a hive of plans and counterplans, emotions warring within me. The lingering sting of betrayal, the soaring joy of my engagement, and a grim, determined resolve. My quiet power move, I meticulously prepare for Zoe's party. It's no longer just about confronting her, it's about making a statement. I choose my outfit with care, a sleek black dress I've been saving for a special occasion. It's understated, but elegant, a stark contrast to the frilly, attention-grabbing ensembles Zoe usually favors. My makeup is subtle, emphasizing my eyes, which I hope will convey a strength I'm only just beginning to feel. The scrape of my new heels on the pavement as I do a test walk in my living room sounds decisive, final. I practice my speech, not out loud, but in my head. The words shift and change, but the core message remains the same. This isn't about shaming Zoe, not entirely. It's about reclaiming my story, my truth. It's about showing her and everyone else that I'm not the victim she's painted me to be. This moment, I know, will define our friendship, or what's left of it, forever. As I'm getting ready, my phone buzzes. It's a text from my mom. Thinking of you, sweetie. Whatever happens tonight, remember you're strong and loved. A wave of gratitude washes over me. At least some people in my life are genuine. The minutes tick by with agonizing slowness, then alarming speed. The ticking clock, just 2 hours until the party. My stomach is a knot of nerves, but there's a thrill there too. A sense of impending confrontation that's both terrifying and exhilarating. The mixture of perfumes from my small collection as I try to decide on a scent feels like I'm choosing armor. I settle on something light, almost undetectable, a contrast to the heavy, cloying scent of drama that will soon fill the room. I decide to arrive fashionably late. Let Zoe have her moment. Let her bask in the orchestrated sympathy. My entrance, when it comes, will be all the more impactful. I can already picture the scene. Zoe, the magnanimous hostess, her arm around a series of concerned friends, her voice dripping with faux concern as she recounts the tale of my tragic breakup. The thought makes my blood boil, but I channel the anger, transforming it into a cold, hard resolve. As I'm about to leave, my phone rings, an unknown number. I hesitate, then answer. Silence. Then, a soft click, and the line goes dead. A wrong number? Or something else? The brief, unsettling call casts a momentary shadow over my resolve, a faint echo of the unease I felt when I thought I'd been overheard. The party is in full swing when I arrive, the music a dull throb that I can feel in my chest even before I step inside the rented event space. It's one of those trendy downtown lofts, all exposed brick and fairy lights. Zoe's signature style. The air is thick with the smell of expensive perfume and catered appetizers. My heels click on the polished concrete floor, a sound that seems to cut through the chatter for a moment. Heads turn. I see Zoe across the room, holding court, a champagne flute in her hand, her laughter a little too loud. She's wearing a ridiculously sparkly dress, a beacon of self-congratulatory light. My quiet power move? I offer a small, enigmatic smile to those who catch my eye, moving through the crowd with a calmness I don't entirely feel. The tension is palpable. Friends approach, their faces etched with concern, their voices hushed. Maya, are you okay? We were so worried when we heard about Marcus. I nod, murmur vague thanks, my eyes scanning the room, taking it all in. Zoe, predictably, makes a beeline for me, her face a mask of solicitous sympathy. Maya! Oh, honey, you came! She throws her arms around me, a theatrical embrace that feels cold and insincere. The scent of her vanilla perfume, the one she always wears, is suddenly nauseating. I'm so glad you're here. We're all here for you. Thanks, Zoe, I say, my voice even, my gaze steady. Wouldn't miss your birthday for the world. She beams, oblivious to the undercurrent in my tone. She leads me towards the bar, chattering about how brave I am, how Marcus is a fool, how she's going to help me get through this. It's It's a masterful performance. I almost have to admire her audacity. Marcus is nowhere to be seen, which is a small relief. I don't think I could bear to look at him, not yet. The sympathy continues, wave after wave. It's suffocating. Each well-meaning comment, each pitying glance fuels the fire of my resolve. Zoe, of course, is loving it, lapping up the attention, the praise for being such a supportive friend. She's in her element. Then, just as I'm wondering how much more of this I can take, Zoe clinks her champagne glass, calling for attention. Her smile is dazzling, triumphant. "Everyone," she calls out, her voice ringing through the suddenly quiet room. "Thank you all for coming to celebrate with me. It means the world." She pauses, her eyes finding mine, a flicker of something unreadable in their depths. "And tonight, I have a very special surprise. Something I think will really resonate with all of us, especially those who've been through heartbreak." My blood runs cold. A special surprise? This can't be good. The projector, which I'd vaguely noticed in the corner, whirs to life. The mechanical hum fills the sudden silence, a prelude to what I instinctively know will be a new level of humiliation. Zoe's face is alight with a malicious glee she barely bothers to conceal. "In honor of my dear friend Maya," she announces, her voice dripping with saccharine sweetness, "and her journey through heartbreak, I've put together a little something." My hands clench at my sides, nails digging into my palms. My breath catches in my throat. A slideshow. She's made a slideshow. The first image flashes onto the screen. A candid photo of me laughing, with Marcus's arm around me. The caption, in a cutesy curly font, "The way we were." My quiet power move? I don't scream. I don't rush the projector. I don't give her the satisfaction of a public meltdown. Instead, a strange, cold calm settles over me. My anger, white-hot and furious, transforms, congeals into something else, pure, unadulterated determination. Let her dig her own grave. Let her play out this farce to its conclusion. Every smug smile, every pitying glance from the crowd is just more fuel for the inferno I'm about to unleash. The slideshow continues, a curated collection of my happiest moments with Marcus, each one now a painful reminder of his betrayal. Then, it takes a darker turn. Screenshots. Screenshots of our private messages, my messages. "I can't imagine my life without him," one of my texts reads, splashed across the screen for everyone to see. How did she get these? My phone. She must have gone through my phone. The violation of it, the sheer audacity, is breathtaking. The taste of the cheap champagne I'd accepted earlier turns bitter in my mouth. I can feel the eyes of the crowd on me, a mixture of pity, embarrassment, and morbid curiosity. Zoe narrates, her voice full of feigned emotion. "It's so hard to see a friend in so much pain. But Maya, you are so strong. We're all here for you." The hypocrisy is astounding. She's parading my private pain, my most vulnerable moments, as entertainment, all under the guise of support. My hands are trembling, yes, but not with weakness. With a tightly coiled rage that's demanding release. I take a slow, deliberate breath, centering myself. Her show is almost over, and then it will be my turn. The final slide is a picture of Zoe, her arm around a tearful-looking actress who vaguely resembles me, clearly from a stock photo website, photoshopped badly. The caption, "Through thick and thin, I'll always be by your side." The sheer, unadulterated gall of it is almost comical. As the lights come up, Zoe is beaming, accepting applause from some of the more clueless guests. She turns to me, her eyes shining with triumph. "What did you think, Maya?" she asks, her voice loud enough for everyone to hear. "A little tribute to your strength." Before I can answer, before I can unleash the carefully prepared words that are burning on my tongue, my phone rings, loudly. The ringtone, a custom one Taehyung set, a snippet of a song he wrote for me, fills the suddenly silent room. Everyone turns to look at me. I glance at the screen. Kim Taehyung. With his contact photo, a goofy selfie he'd taken with me, his face partially obscured, but unmistakably him. My heart leaps. Perfect timing. The universe, it seems, has a flair for the dramatic. The silence in the room is absolute, thick with unspoken questions. All eyes are on me, on the glowing screen of my phone, on the name that to many in this room, particularly Zoe, is practically mythical. Kim Taehyung, her idol, her obsession, calling me. My quiet power move. I meet Zoe's stunned, disbelieving gaze with a calm I didn't know I possessed. Her carefully constructed narrative, her moment of twisted triumph, is already beginning to crumble. I let the phone ring one more time, savoring the exquisite tension. Then I tap the answer button, and I put it on speaker. Jagia? Taehyung's voice, warm and familiar, fills the room. Honey, fiancé. The endearment, so casual, so intimate, hangs in the air like a spark before an explosion. Are you okay? You sounded a little stressed earlier. Is everything all right for tonight? He's clearly referring to Zoe's party, to my plan. I can see Zoe's face. The confident smirk has vanished, replaced by a look of utter, uncomprehending shock. Her skin, moments before flushed with victory, is now ashen. Her eyes are wide, darting from my phone to my face, a silent question screaming from them. Everything's perfect, Tae, I say, my voice clear and steady, a hint of a smile playing on my lips. Actually, it's about to get even better. I pause, letting the anticipation build. I have some people here who I think would love to say hi, or rather, hear you say hi to your fiancé. The collective gasp from the crowd is almost deafening. Whispers erupt, a confused, excited murmur that quickly builds in volume. Zoe just stares, her mouth slightly agape, her champagne flute tilting dangerously in her trembling hand. My fiancé? Taehyung chuckles, the sound rich and intimate. I like the sound of that. Are you finally telling people, Maya? I thought you wanted to wait. Change of plans, I say, my eyes still locked on Zoe. Her face is a kaleidoscope of emotions. Shock, denial, a dawning, horrifying understanding. Some things just can't wait. I hold up my left hand, turning it slightly so the light catches the diamond on my finger. The real one. The one Taehyung had overnighted to me this morning after our call, a perfect, tangible symbol of our love. It's beautiful, isn't it? It looks even better on you, Taehyung says, his voice full of warmth. So, who am I saying hi to? Oh, just a few friends, I say lightly. And Zoe. You know Zoe, right, Tae? My best friend. She's a huge fan of yours. The emphasis I put on huge fan is laden with meaning, a private joke between me and the universe at Zoe's expense. Zoe makes a small, strangled sound. Her eyes are still fixed on my ring, then flick up to my face, wild and desperate. No, she whispers so faintly I barely hear it over the growing buzz in the room. No, it's not. You can't be... Can't be what, Zoe? I ask, my voice gentle, almost pitying. Engaged to the man you've been cyber-stalking for years? The man whose face you've photoshopped onto your own? The man whose every move you've tracked with a devotion that's frankly a little terrifying? The color drains completely from Zoe's face. She looks like she's about to faint. Taehyung, I continue, my voice still on speaker, loud and clear for everyone to hear. Remember I told you about my friend, the one who's having a birthday party tonight? The one who coincidentally just tried to publicly humiliate me by announcing my breakup with my ex. A breakup, by the way, that she orchestrated with said ex? The one who made the scrapbook? Taehyung's voice is carefully neutral, but I can hear the underlying disapproval, the distaste. I'd told him about Zoe's KTH_love folder, about the obsessive shrine. He'd been disturbed, to say the least. That's the one, I confirm. Well, Zoe, happy birthday. I believe you know my fiancé, Kim Taehyung. Or, at least, you think you do. The room erupts. Not in whispers this time, but in exclamations of shock, disbelief, and dawning comprehension. People are looking at Zoe, then at me, then back at Zoe, the pieces of the puzzle clicking into place. Her carefully constructed image as the supportive best friend, the victim by proxy, shatters into a million pieces. My quiet power move, I don't need to raise my voice. I don't need to resort to insults. The truth, in this moment, is a weapon far more devastating than any carefully crafted barb. I simply stand there, my phone in my hand, Taehyung's voice a calm, loving presence in the chaos, and watch as Zoe's world implodes. The cool metal of my phone against my palm is a grounding sensation. The silence before the storm had been pregnant. The storm itself is a symphony of social destruction. Zoe finally finds her voice, a high-pitched, desperate wail. It's a lie! She's lying! Taehyung would never— he loves me! She lunges forward, her eyes wild, her perfectly manicured nails outstretched, aimed at my phone, at the source of her public undoing. This isn't over, not by a long shot. The next few moments are a blur of motion and sound. Zoe lunges, not at me but at the phone, as if by destroying it, she can destroy the truth. Someone, a guy I vaguely recognize from Zoe's yoga class, steps in front of her, catching her wrists. Hey, calm down, he says, but Zoe is beyond reason. She thrashes, a wild, cornered animal, her voice a shrill torrent of denials and accusations. She's a liar. She's always been jealous of me. Taehyung is mine. He sends me messages. He knows. He knows I'm his biggest fan. Her voice cracks, desperation lacing every syllable. The breaking glass I hear is her champagne flute, slipping from her grasp and shattering on the concrete floor. The smell of spilled champagne, sharp and yeasty, mixes with the cloying sweetness of her vanilla perfume, creating a nauseating olfactory backdrop to her meltdown. Through it all, Taehyung's voice remains on speaker, calm but firm. Zoe, I think you're confused. I've never sent you any personal messages. Maya is my fiancée. We've been together for 6 months. Each word is a nail in the coffin of her fantasy. Friends are pulling back, their faces a mixture of shock, disgust, and dawning pity. The carefully constructed facade of Zoe's popularity is crumbling before my eyes. Some look at me with newfound respect, others with a kind of horrified awe. Sides are being chosen, alliances shifting in the wreckage of Zoe's public humiliation. I see Marcus then, emerging from the edge of the crowd, his face pale, his eyes wide with a mixture of guilt and disbelief. He takes one look at Zoe, then at me, and seems to shrink, trying to melt back into the shadows. Too late? My quiet power move? I step forward, my voice cutting through Zoe's hysterical cries. Zoe, I say, and my tone is surprisingly gentle. It's over. And then, because I know it will cut deeper than any insult, any accusation, I add, I forgive you. Her head snaps up, her tear-streaked face contorted with rage and disbelief. Forgive me, she screeches. You ruined everything. No, Zoe, I say softly. You did. You ruined our friendship with your jealousy. You ruined my relationship with Marcus because you couldn't stand to see me happy. You built a fantasy world because you couldn't handle reality. I can hear the heavy breathing of the crowd, the chaotic energy swirling around us. The yoga guy is still trying to restrain Zoe, but she's fighting him, her movements jerky and uncoordinated. She's trying to poison you against me, she screams at the crowd, at anyone who will listen. She's always wanted what I have. The irony is so thick it's almost laughable. Then, as if on cue, 2 uniformed security guards enter the room. The venue manager, looking flustered, points towards Zoe. The ticking clock. Her time in this particular spotlight is officially up. As the guards approach, Zoe seems to deflate, the fight draining out of her. She slumps against the yoga guy, her shoulders shaking with sobs. But as the guards gently but firmly take her arms, she looks at me, her eyes filled with a venom that chills me to the bone. This isn't over, Maya, she hisses, her voice low and dangerous. You think you've won. You have no idea what's coming. The threat, vague but potent, hangs in the air, a final, desperate attempt to reclaim some shred of power. Then she's gone, escorted out of the party, leaving behind a stunned silence and the lingering scent of spilled wine and shattered illusions. The days that follow are strangely quiet. The social media storm, which had erupted with a fresh wave of shock and speculation after the party, eventually dies down. Zoe, true to her dramatic fashion, deactivates all her accounts and, according to mutual acquaintances, moves out of state, unable or unwilling to face the social fallout. Just like that, a decade of friendship, toxic as it had become, is reborn as nothing, a void. The soft click of deleting her contact information from my phone is surprisingly anticlimactic. A small, insignificant sound for such a monumental shift. My relationship with Taehyung, however, thrives. The trial by fire, the public revelation of our engagement, has only strengthened our bond. We talk for hours, dissecting what happened, marveling at the sheer audacity of Zoe's deception, and, more importantly, planning our future. There's a new ease between us, a sense of shared experience that transcends the secrecy we'd been forced to operate under. The steam from my morning coffee cup swirls in the crisp air from my open window, a symbol of a fresh start, a clean slate. My quiet power move: I don't post about the engagement. There are no gushing Instagram announcements, no carefully staged ring selfies. Our joy, our commitment is ours. It's private. It's real. After the public spectacle of Zoe's making, I crave authenticity, not applause. Taehyung understands, supports it completely. He's had enough of his life being public fodder. I find myself reflecting on friendship, on trust. It's a sobering process. I realize how much I'd ignored, how many red flags I'd dismissed, blinded by loyalty and a naive belief in the inherent goodness of people, especially those I considered close. The betrayal still stings, a dull ache in my chest when I least expect it. But it's no longer a raw, open wound. It's becoming a scar, a reminder of a lesson learned. I'm more selective now, more cautious about who I let into my inner circle. The casual acquaintances, the fair-weather friends who reveled in the drama, have faded into the background. What's left are the genuine connections. The people who reached out with sincere concern, who didn't take sides but simply offered support. My mom, of course. A few old college friends. And Taehyung, my rock, my unexpected love. Life begins to settle into a new rhythm. Wedding planning, tentative at first, then with growing excitement, fills my spare moments. We talk about a small ceremony, something intimate, far from the prying eyes of the public and the lingering ghosts of past betrayals. One afternoon, about a week after the party, my phone buzzes with a message from an unknown number. My heart does a familiar little lurch. You think you're so clever, Maya, but I know things. Things that could ruin your perfect little life with your perfect fiancé. Be careful. Zoe, it has to be. The chill that spreads through me is a familiar one, but this time it's mixed with a weary resignation. Some people, it seems, just can't let go. But the fear is fainter now, diluted by a newfound strength, a confidence I didn't possess before. She can threaten all she wants. I have the truth on my side. And for the first time in a long time, I'm not afraid. This new chapter is mine, and I won't let her write a single word of it. The message from the unknown number sits on my phone for a day. I don't reply. I don't block it. I just let it be. Zoe's attempt to inject herself back into my life, to sow seeds of doubt and fear, feels pathetic now. A desperate echo from a past I'm rapidly leaving behind. The rustle of wedding magazines on my coffee table, the soft glow of the engagement ring on my finger, as I flip through pages of lace and flower arrangements, these are the new realities. The warmth of Taehyung's hand in mine when we meet for a rare, quiet dinner at a tiny, out-of-the-way restaurant, that's the new anchor. A few days later, another message. Ignoring me won't make me go away. I'm not done with you. This time I almost smile, almost. Taehyung, when I show him the messages, is furious. His protective instincts flare, and he wants to involve his security team, his lawyers. She's harassing you, Maya. This isn't okay. I know, I say, touching his arm gently. But I don't want to give her any more power, Tae. Reacting is what she wants. Drama is what she feeds on. My quiet power move, I decide to meet her, on my terms, in a public place. Not for a confrontation, not for a reconciliation, but for closure. For myself. I text back the unknown number. Coffee, tomorrow, noon, the Grindhouse Cafe. It's a busy, noisy place, always full of people, safe. Zoe is already there when I arrive, looking smaller, somehow diminished, without her usual entourage and dramatic flair. She's dressed down, her hair pulled back, a stark contrast to the glittering birthday queen of a week ago. There are dark circles under her eyes. Maya, she says, her voice flat. Zoe. I sit down, placing my phone on the table between us. What do you want? She tries to rally, a flicker of the old Zoe surfacing. I want you to know that you haven't won. That Taehyung, he'll see the truth about you eventually. The truth? I raise an eyebrow. What truth is that, Zoe? That I'm happy? That I'm in love with a man who loves me back? That I'm not interested in playing your toxic games anymore? Her face flushes. He's an idol. He belongs to everyone. You can't just keep him to yourself. And there it is, the crux of her delusion. He's not a possession, Zoe. He's a person who chose me. Just like Marcus, I suppose, chose you, in his own way, for a while. She flinches at the mention of Marcus, their brief, ill-fated alliance apparently already a sore spot. That was different. Was it? I ask, my voice calm. Or was it just another attempt to take something that wasn't yours because you couldn't stand to see someone else have it? The fight seems to leave her then. She slumps in her chair, stirring her untouched latte with a clatter. I wanted what you have, Maya. You always have everything. The good grades, the easy laugh, the guys who actually like you for you, I just wanted a piece of it. Her voice is barely a whisper. It's a confession, raw and pathetic. For a fleeting moment, I feel a pang of something that might be pity, but it's quickly overshadowed by the memory of the betrayal, the calculated cruelty. And you thought the way to get it was to tear me down? I ask. To humiliate me? To try and destroy my happiness? She doesn't answer, just stares into her coffee cup. This is my final quiet power move, the one that truly sets me free. I'm done, Zoe, I say, my voice soft but firm. I'm done with the drama, the jealousy, the constant competition. I'm building a life for myself, a life filled with genuine love and real happiness. And you're not going to be a part of it, not anymore. I stand up. I wish you well, Zoe. I hope you find whatever it is you're looking for, but you won't find it by trying to destroy others. I walk away, leaving her there with her cooling coffee and her shattered fantasies. I don't look back. There's no triumph, no surge of victory. Just a quiet, profound sense of peace. The sound of genuine laughter from a nearby table, a group of friends sharing a joke, feels like a good omen. Months later, as I'm addressing wedding invitations, my hand hovering over the list of names, I pause. There's an empty space where Zoe's name would have been. I don't feel sadness or anger, just a faint, distant acknowledgement of a chapter closed. Taehyung slides his arm around my waist, kissing my temple. Everything okay? He murmurs, his breath warm against my skin. I lean back against him, a genuine smile spreading across my face. Everything's perfect. And in that moment, I realize I'm grateful. Grateful for the betrayal, as strange as it sounds. Because without it, I might never have seen the truth. I might never have found this strength, this clarity. I might never have realized that sometimes the people who hurt you the most are the ones who inadvertently lead you to your greatest happiness. Zoe's actions, born of jealousy and obsession, had unintentionally cleared the path for something beautiful and real. And that, I decide, is the best kind of plot twist.